Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Sanjay Chaturvedi. Today we are going to discuss various aspects of the FEMA, that is Foreign Exchange Management Act, under which we as a resident Indian remit foreign exchange to various regions outside the country. In other episodes or in other lectures, I will be taking it how the NRIs are, remitting, and what are those protocols and what are those procedures where you should not, be on the wrong side of the law. So, first thing first, the Foreign Exchange Management Act, which is a governing act as far as the remittance is concerned. In a year, a resident Indian can remit up to 250,000 US dollar to the outside country. This is the normal understanding. Now there are some reasons, there are some protocols needs to be. So very quickly I will be reading some of the provisions of the act and some of the circulars and master circulars by the RBI, wherein you can remit, and for the what purpose we are going to discuss today. The liberalized remittance scheme, that is LRS, which we call it, is basically for the 250,000 US dollar for resident individual, where it can remit outside the country. Do you need to take a permission? No. A para A of the RBI DD Master Circular or Master Direction, we call it 7 of 2015-16, dated 1st January 2016. It gives us the detail of the LRS, that is Liberalized Remittance Scheme, and that is what I am going to just read for you. That under the Liberalized Remittance Scheme, authorized dealer may freely allow remittance by the resident individual up to US dollar 250,000 per financial year, that is April to March, that is the financial year in India, for any permitted current or capital account transaction, or a combination of both. We will discuss is what the current account and what is the capital account also. In a nutshell, I will tell you, when there is a change in the assets and the liability of the entity, then there is a capital account, and those are the current accounts. Now, I am not going in detail, we will discuss later. The scheme is not available to the corporates, partnerships, HUF or firms or trust. So, 250,000 rupees only, dollar can only be remitted by the resident Indian. Even the infant can do it, and you have to sign some forms, and as a biological guardians needs to sign that, if even infant also having that 250,000 rupees limit. Now the LRS limit has been revised in stages. In 2004 it was only 25,000, and now after 2015 it is 250,000 rupees per financial year per residential individual. So that is what the liberalized remittance scheme is. Further, the scheme is available to minor also. I have told you, the consolidation of the remittance of the family members. That means if the family members are purchasing, then there are some very thin line in the rules. Let's read it. Remittance under the scheme can be consolidated in respect of family members, subject to individual family members complying with its terms and conditions. However, clubbing is not permitted by other family members for capital account transactions, such as opening a bank account, investment, purchase of property, if they are not the co-owner or co-partner of the overseas bank account, investment properties. Further, a resident cannot gift to another resident in foreign currency for the credit of the latter's foreign currency account held abroad under the LRS. So, you need to be the partner So whatever investment you are making, if suppose there is a family member and the consolidation is not allowed if you are not the co-owner or not the partner. Transaction not permitted under LRS. Which are those transactions? All other transactions which are otherwise not permissible under FEMA. There are so many other FEMA it includes the smuggling also and hawala also, and those in the nature of remittance for margins or margin calls to overseas exchange, overseas counterparty are not allowed under the scheme. So the remittance having some riders of the individual who is is it for the property purchase? Let us read what are those reasons. Maybe medical, for your supporting your relatives outside the country, for maintenance, for medical treatments, for education, for so many other purposes. Let us read it very quickly. The capital account transaction permissible under the LRS, that is, what are the capital account? The permissible capital account transaction by individual under the LRS are enumerated in the para so and so direction 7 of 2015 and or of the on 1st January 2016 is as follows. Opening of a foreign currency account abroad with a bank, purchase of property abroad, making investment abroad, acquisition and holding shares of both listed and unlisted overseas company or debt instruments, acquisition of qualification shares of an overseas company for holding the post of director, acquisition of shares of a foreign company towards professional services rendered or in lieu of director's remuneration, investment in unit of mutual fund, venture capital fund, unrated debt securities and promissory notes, setting up wholly subsidiaries and joint ventures with effect from 1st August 5th of 2013 outside India for bona fide business. And the last is extending loan, including loan in Indian rupees to non-resident Indian who are related as defined in the Companies Act 2013. Now there are some transactions which I was referring to, that for your private visit abroad, that is tour related expenses, gifting and donating, going abroad for the employment, immigrations, maintenance to the close relative and abroad. Now business trips abroad, LR is not permissible if the employee deputed outside India, and medical treatment abroad. Yeah, these are the some of the heads which you can utilize these funds for remitting outside India. For more such, I am going to cover the entire FEMA and the remittance inward and outward into India under the FEMA. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box right now or mail me on editor@saptakala.com so that I can even reply you individually. So keep in touch and goodbye.